final game of the month of April, and there has been no bigger surprise than the Arizona Diamondbacks, who only won 60 games a year ago and are now tied for the best record in the majors at 22-10, taking on the Cincinnati Reds, who have also had a pretty nice season. As on the mound today for the Reds will be Tanner Roark, the former Nationals, 3-1 with a 1.54 ERA. Can't really ask for much more from him. As to start the game off, Marcell Ozuna, that one easily could have been gone if it wasn't so high, and that's probably the closest thing we would see to a home run for a while. On the mound today for the Diamondbacks will be Touki who has had a bit of a rough start. Hasn't been too bad, but has not been great, as the Reds put runners on the corners and one out here in the bottom of the first inning. Let's see if Touki can get out of the jam, and the answer would be yes, as he strikes out Gennett and is visibly happy that the Reds didn't score. Second inning now, full count pitch for Chris Davis, and the refs better double check that one, as they do say it's a walk, but it wouldn't matter as the Reds turn a 3-6-3 double play. Nice play from the first baseman, Nick Senzel. Bottom two, Yasiel Puig strikes out. It's been a rough season for Puig. Now, not too long later, Jake Lamb with an incredible defensive play. Slow start for Lamb, but he's been playing a lot better now, hitting around the 250 range, about where he was last year, as Tanner Roark strikes out, looking pitcher-on-pitcher crime. Now, fourth inning, David Peralta, who also had a rough start and is playing a lot better, rips a single into center to start off the inning. The Diamondbacks finally put some runs on the board as Peralta thinks this offense is cooking. However, it does not look like it's cooking there, as Chris Davis would strike out. Bottom four, Eugenio Suarez joining the K Club. Touki fifth of the day, and then Gennett more blind than Helen Keller. I don't know what on earth he was swinging at. Fifth inning now from a rookie, Pavin Smith, who is the early NL Rookie of the Year favorite, hitting around 290. He rips a base hit into left, and then that's the catcher, Welington Castillo, down the line, and just there, Pavin Smith trying to get a little antsy, but Eugenio Suarez gets the tag on him with more than enough time, as that could have potentially robbed the Diamondbacks of a run. However, they would turn the 4-6-3 double play, as Arizona's infield has more chemistry than a science project. Still nothing as Chris Davis, he's just a window shopper because he's just looking. Tanner Roark strikes out again, and then another double play. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, says the Diamondbacks infield. Nothing after 6. Now bottom 7, the Reds start off the inning with a base hit, and a little bit more as the left fielder totally misplays it. I believe it's Marcell Ozuna. So runner in scoring position, no outs, as that one would barely be caught by Chris Davis, and his noodle arm actually somehow makes it to third. However, Yasiel Puig would strike out, ending the 7th. Still nothing. Here's Marcell Ozuna going down on the slider. Tanner Roark still in the game. However, the same could not be said for Touki. He finished after 7 dominant innings. Diego Castillo, the former Tampa Bay Ray and Dominican Republic native, would enter the game as he strikes out the top prospect, Nick Senzel. As there's Touki grinning on the bench, and for good reason. He absolutely dominated this game, but unfortunately it doesn't look like he will get the win because his offense provided no run support. Now in the 9th inning, Zach Duke is in the game for Tanner Roark. 8 phenomenal innings for Roark as he strikes out Chris Davis. Davis with the hat trick today, 3 strikeouts. Broken bat to start off the bottom of the 9th inning, as that one was more broken than my love life, as the Diamondbacks do get the out. That's Adam Eaton up. 2 outs now, as that one would fly into right. It would barely be caught, and we are headed to extras after 9 innings. This game is still scoreless. Nothing as we enter the extra frames. Let's see who will be the first ones to put some runs on the board. It looks like it might be forever until that happens, as Pavin Smith strikes out from Duke. Brandon Kinsler now in the game is an excellent play by the shortstop, Wilmer Flores, who has definitely cooled down after a nice start. 11th inning, Adam Jones, the pinch hitter, strikes out. So now 1 out for Marcell Ozuna, and he is shopping gap. That one could start a rally for the Diamondbacks, as Ozuna, the former Marlin and Cardinal, rips a double, and the batter after that would be David Peralta, and he would change this game up with 1 swing of the bat. This scoreless game is over after a combined 20 innings of no runs. David Peralta goes yard, a 2-run shot off of David Hernandez, and the Diamondbacks take a 2-0 lead. But why not pad it a little bit? The next batter, Jake Lamb, also goes yard. Now it's 3-0 Arizona. 2 batters ago, this game was tied at 0-0, and now we get all the offense finally. Richard Rodriguez was the one who pitched that one. Chris Davis trying to go for 3 in a row. It would not happen, as it would be caught. Almost gone, but Adam Eaton is able to make the play. Eaton out there in center field, as here comes Archie Bradley, the current NL reliever of the year favorite. He has been dominant this season, 14 innings of play, as the Reds starting the inning off with a base hit. Let's see if Archie Bradley somehow blows this game, as Tucker Barnhart would strike out looking, so runner on, 2 outs, and the Reds would keep the rally alive. One would end up scoring, and Cincinnati makes it 3-1 with the tying run up at the dish. It would not go too successfully, as he would strike out. Arizona gets the win. Braden Kinsler actually gets the win, not Tuki Toussaint. David Hernandez with the loss, and Archie Bradley with the save. And now to start off May, Arizona returns home to take on the 12-29 San Francisco Giants. John Duplantier on the mound for the Diamondbacks. And it has not been a great year for him. He's 1-5 with a 6.1 ERA, and if he does not get his act together, he very well could be headed back to Reno, as Caleb Joseph, part-time ball player, full-time sniper. Joseph in for Welington Castillo, who got the day off today, as he throws out Alan Hansen, as that likely would have caused a run. Hansen could have easily made it around to home plate, as Brandon Belt belting the double. So 2 outs now for San Francisco, and they would get a base hit into left center field, and they would take a 1-0 lead. John Duplantier continuing his struggles, as it'll be Dereck Rodríguez, the son of legendary catcher Pudge Rodriguez, on the mound for the Giants today. Very solid year so far for Mr. Rodriguez, as David Peralta strikes out looking. Here's a look at the lineup card, by the way, for the Diamondbacks. We're sort of changing things up. Guys like Nick Williams, Caleb Joseph, non-everyday players are getting the opportunities to play, as Brandon Belt strikes out in the top of the third. Now bottom 3 for Nick Williams, ending Dereck Rodríguez's perfect game. Nick Williams, who has been incredible as a pinch hitter with that one. It wouldn't amount to anything. His 4th inning, Jake Lamb totally misses it. It looked like he had it, but he didn't. However, Buster Posey would strike out, and it wouldn't matter, as Mike Gerber also goes looking on the cutter. Not too thrilled. Bottom 4, still 1-0, but the Moose would change that, as Mike Moustakas with his 12th bomb of the season, which leads the majors, by the way, as there are a few players with 10, but Moose far ahead with 12. And that signing looks like a great one for the Diamondbacks, but a signing that does not look great, Wilmer Flores, he strikes out. 5th inning now, Longo goes down, so does Alan Hansen, as John Duplantier really starting to heat up now. 4 straight scoreless innings. Bottom 5 for Pavin Smith through the middle just a little, as he gets that one right between those 2 defenders for a base hit. However, Nick Williams will ground into a 4-6 free double play. Hansen to Crawford to Belt, and the Giants would belt that play. As you look at this, John Duplantier with a base hit, the first of probably not too many of his major league career. He'll definitely have a few, but he's obviously not going to be known for what he does at the plate, but still a very nice moment getting your first career hit. That would actually end Dereck Rodríguez's day, as Tommy Hunter would enter the game. 2 on, 2 outs for David Peralta. He would fly out. Alan Hansen makes the catch, keeping the game at 1 apiece, as Brandon Crawford strikes out on a changeup. There's Chris Shaw getting the corners painted. So now bottom 6 for Jake Lamb, his 2nd straight game with a dinger, as that one barely curves fair. I thought it curved foul, honestly, but they are going to say fair. That's his 7th dinger of the season, 428 feet. Take another look, and if you look at it on the replay, it definitely was fair. So Mike Gerber striking out for a 3rd time today. He gets the hat trick. Now bottom 7, Nick Williams with a nice line out. Nice play from Brandon Belt, as Evan Longoria, the former AL MVP with the Rays, striking out. Here's a look at John Duplantier's day, a career game, as it's been a rough start for him, but this one should definitely give him some confidence, as Kramer, the pinch hitter, strikes out. And then this one should have easily been caught by Peralta, but he just stopped I guess he wanted to play it safe and not let the ball go extra farther, but I think he could have made the catch. Hansen would actually advance to third. Brandon Crawford draws a walk, putting 2 runners on the corners, 2 outs for Brandon Belt. He would strike out. Big out for Pedro Strop, getting out of a jam. Bottom 8th, Diamondbacks want to pad the lead as David Peralta with a base hit. Excellent play by Alan Hansen. However, the runner, I believe that is Mike Moustakas, would be called safe. I thought at first glance he was out, but looking at it again, he was definitely safe. So 2 on, 2 outs for Wilmer Flores, and he's going to continue his drought, striking out. Now, top 9 here returns Archie Bradley on for the save, as he attempts to get his MLB leading 16th of the season, and he would end up doing it as this game ends with a grounder. Moustakas to Pavin Smith, and the Diamondbacks skip a win by a final score of 2-1. John Duplantier with his 2nd career win. It'll be Tommy Hunter credited with the loss, so I think it's a good idea to do an April recap, April evaluation. Diamondbacks half a game ahead of the Dodgers for the best record in baseball, not just the division. Looking at the minor leagues, Mickey Smith, the 2nd rounder last year, did not allow a run. I think he's definitely major league talent and could be called up within the next few months. Matt Tabor, Domingo Leyba, Ildermo Vargas all playing well. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for Joey Crable, as he did not have a good April. So looking at the stats, we're going to start off with the bench. And the bench hasn't been bad. Nick Williams has been great. And there haven't really been any liabilities other than Ketel Marte, who's really struggling. And then the lineup, Ozuna's played well all season. Peralta's starting to pick it up. Same with Jake Lamb. Chris Davis, on the other hand, he has sort of been struggling, only 216. Moustakas has definitely been the team MVP up to this point. He has been great. Pavin Smith, very impressive rookie season. Wilmer Flores started off the year on fire, hitting like 360 through 2 weeks. He's fallen apart. And Welington Castillo has been pretty bad all season. Then the rotation, Robbie Ray, incredible. Taijuan Walker, incredible. Tukutu Saint, pretty good. John Duplantier, hopefully that last start can give him some confidence. And then Todd Woodruff, pretty good. And then the bullpen, Kinsler and Bronco haven't been great, but other than that, everyone in the bullpen is pitching really well. And this team as a whole is really well. Everyone is really happy. It is a good time to be a Diamondback. So finishing off the video, I think this team could use some power off the bench. Do you guys think we should sign with someone like Edwin Encarnacion or Nelson Cruz? Let me know in the comments below.